All right, guys. With that, I am going to be reviewing AEW Double or Nothing. It is crazy how it is the 1 year to the date. Due to our current situation, it was at the Double or Nothing, and from start to finish, it was a fun ride. After the fact of super good, and I don't ever remember feeling like that when it comes to WWE products. And no, this will not be a bashing of WWE products, but just to weigh the two. Okay. Back in the day, we sort of felt like we were satisfied when it came to WWE pay-per-views. All right, so let me start off with the buy-in. I do feel like the buy-in pay-per-view was specifically made for Private Party, even though Private Party has all the amazing ability in the world and they're a great tag team and they deserve to also be on the main card. Feels like they're seen when it comes to the buy-in. Because Best Friends have more matches under their belt, they ended up, spoiler alert, winning this match, facing the AEW Tag Team Champions of Kenny Omega and Hangman Page at a later date in the future. So in the beginning of this match, there was a lot of mat-style technical wrestling between Chucky T and Isaiah Cassidy. From there, Mark does a standing moonsault on Trent. Trent with a Northern Lights suplex into a bridge pin combo that looked very smooth. There was a double drop elbow from Best Friends to Mark Quinn, double standing sliced bread / clothesline combo. Then the silly string from Private Party to Trent. This is where it looked like Trent could have got hurt because he started having more labored breathing during the match, and I was a little concerned. Isaiah had also gotten shaken up too when that happened. There was a swinging DDT, but that got countered by Mark's double drop kick. Trent was this was on the outside. There was a standing shooting star to the finisher onto Isaiah held him on his knees, picking up the win. Held him on his knees. It was a nice match back and forth. It was a nice Best Friends match back and forth. Confidence and aggressive side. Best Friends had them going over in this match. It was a nice, but Best Friends renewed, had them going over in this match. They were my prediction to win. The Double or Nothing main card featured Luchasaurus, but after AEW going after with the Kip Sabian going after Scorpio Sky, going after Orange Cassidy, going after Ray Phoenix. However, he got taken out and got replaced to be there, but after AEW Dynamite with the botched Colt Cabana, you had versus Darby Allin, going after this. He got taken out and got replaced by Scorpio Sky going after Orange Cassidy. High-flying move that Ray Phoenix did. He got taken out and got replaced by Joey Janela. So my notes starts when our 9th competitor came out. And he was led by Taz. And he is Brian Cage. I was not expecting Brian Cage to be with AEW, WWE-esque, where it's like Rey Mysterio is the underdog and defeated all the giants in a way. I'm not too afraid of it, only because Darby is a very creative genius when this comes to fighting bigger guys and making these vignettes and making it feel like he could take on the world. So I'm not scared of it because of his creative genius will show through. Darby does this high jump skateboard dive onto Kazarian on the ladder. Luckily, Kazarian moves and Darby messes up his shin. That was a nice little spot there. It was adorable. Ninth participant in the the
clinic,
now
and then you can hear
MJF, he's going to be dropping bodies towards the end of it. And now it has been announced that at Frighter Fest, it will be Jon Moxley, MJF versus Jungle Boy. They put on a clinic from start to finish. They are the future of AEW and they're the future of the wrestling business. I am enjoying MJF now. I don't understand why, but I give him all the respect and credit in the world. He is learning pretty fast as a heel, and he's doing a lot of great heelish stuff. I love that he stays in character, whether he's on social media, whether you meet him at a Jungle Boy is phenomenal what he does in the ring. He's very quick. He's very agile. He learns quickly as well. And I thoroughly enjoy his matches, whether he's with Jurassic Express or by himself. If he's by himself, it might take a little while because he's still young. Let's keep him with Jurassic Express and let's see how that goes. He has a very good knack for playing the character that he plays, and it works out. So MJF has 5 years under his belt. Jungle Boy has 4 years under his belt. MJF has 4 Jungle Boy has 1 year of wrestling. Kendra in the middle is amazing. Jungle Boy does a lot of chops to MJF. Jungle Boy causes a lot of chops to MJF's chest. There are 2 suicide dives. MJF has 5 years. There are 2 suicide dives and 1 top rope move by Jungle Boy. The commentators call this the matchup of youth. These guys definitely have youth on their side. Jungle Boy does a crossface to MJF, but loses the grip from his right arm. The whole entire match, MJF worked on his body part, worked on Jungle Boy's right arm, and that's the power of MJF. Will be very loose because the more strength you put into your arm hurting, the more you wanna. So it's important as a professional wrestler and to tell a story in the ring to pick a body part, expose the body part, and use it to your advantage when you're in a match. So that way your opponent doesn't have enough grip to apply submissions, to apply a German suplex or anything like that. So that way you can get the victory and play it smart. MJF did a drive. What? MJF did a driver-like move. MJF did a driver-like move onto Jungle Boy's arm. Jungle Boy kicked out. There was a reverse hurricanrana to MJF from Jungle Boy. Jungle Boy powerbombs MJF. Then there is this really nice-looking bridge pin that MJF does to Jungle Boy. It is a modified European clutch. This is how MJF picks up the win. Was a amazing match. I want to see those two have some more matches down the line, maybe a series. It could tell a deeper story. TNT Championship title, which would be presented by Mike Tyson.
So like they got it one cheap website title, like they got it from one cheap website title. However, due to our current situation, everything is backed up. Due to our current situation, we can't really get mad at it. But I was like, this can't really be the title. But I was like, this can't really be the title. TNT should have like a really loud TNT should have like a really loud. TNT decided to do it, and it's a network belt. TNT decided to do it, and it's a network belt. So why not go all out? I'm just saying. You guys could spend $1 million bucks. I'm still waiting for Cody Rhodes to turn heel. But I'm not mad at it either. Everything is there. Everything is aligned. I wrote my prediction article about everything is there. Everything is aligned. But that's not the case. My prediction pick for this match was Lance Archer because it made sense. Even though I really didn't want these two in the finals, I think that AEW should start looking at making stars. Faith in the incredible roster that AEW has to trust them with the belt and go forward. Anyway, in the incredible roster that AEW has to trust them with the belt and go forward. My notes for this match, not having it. At one point, Cody uses Archer's hair. Cody does a cutter. Lance countered with a shoulder block. Cody with a suicide dive to Archer. Cody delayed into ringside suplex.
to Archer. Walk moonsault to Cody. That shows off how much Cody delayed vertical Cody suplex can hold in terms of weight. Lance then decides to expose the turnbuckle. Cody decides to stretch out Archer via the ring post. Anchor has a voice message system, so if you guys want to leave the correct answer to what Cody Rhodes did to Lance Archer, you can leave it on there via Anchor or comment on the Square Circle Podcast newsletter section below. Teach me. I'm willing to learn. From there, there's a DDT from Cody to mock Jake the Snake Roberts, and then Archer gets up to do a spine buster to mock Arn Anderson. After that, from there, there's a DDT from Cody, mock Jake the Snake Roberts, and then Archer gets up to do a spine buster to mock. After that, there is a springboard cutter to Archer. There is a avalanche reverse suplex from Cody to Archer. Then Arn interferes, and a referee comes down to tell the other referee that Arn interfered, and so the referee threw out both Arn Anderson and Jake the Snake Roberts. That's when Mike Tyson got up to make sure that both of them go away. However, Jake the Snake Roberts come out with the bag, and we all know that his snake is in the bag, but Mike Tyson didn't allow for that to happen. This allows Cody Rhodes to get the upper hand on Archer by doing 2 crossroads to pick up the victory. So my pick didn't win. Cody Rhodes wins, and Mike Tyson presents him with the TNT Championship title. Congratulations to Cody Rhodes. And it makes sense why Cody Rhodes got the belt. Cody Rhodes has been on a downward spiral ever since he lost to Chris Jericho for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship title, and he will never be able to face for the title again, and then losing to MJF after going through a whole ordeal with MJF, and then finally getting the TNT Championship as retribution. Now, this coming Wednesday, AEW is going to hold another TNT Championship tournament that will decide the number 1 contender to take on Cody Rhodes. Dustin should be in this match again. If we have a Dustin versus Cody, I think it'll come full circle because of Dusty, who was part of WCW for a very long time, and WCW was on the TNT network. It would just be a nice family completion, and then after we get that out of the way, we could start to give it to new stars. I want to predict that they will have Dustin be in that tournament to maybe one day face Cody Rhodes for the TNT Championship. Originally on the card board, everything that happened. This match was really good. Felt like Baker and others. Everything that happened, the women have been having talked about. The injuries for weeks, like hopefully they have each other to women who matches the women not be as experienced. This match was really good. In the ring together as two. You see, the women's division is not everything that happened. He had that experience about and didn't the ring together as I've ever seen. But the foundation of the women's division is to have that feel. You see, the women's division is not bad. That's all I have a problem with. Penelope versus Chris didn't feel like it was really good. This women's match allowed the pay-per-view to slow down a bit because the previous matches were so fast and in your face and very high intensity that this one kind of slowed it down, and I appreciate that. And I do want to give props to Kip Sabian. Kip Sabian was one of the competitors in the Casino ladder match, and he came out with Penelope in crutches and taped up all over, and I love the fact that they played it up that he was injured in the ladder match, and I appreciate the giving the Casino ladder match authenticness to it. There's a German suplex. There's the reverse DDT from forward to Chris, and then fisherman spin out Michinoku driver. Fisherman spin out Michinoku driver. There's the reverse DDT from forward to Chris. There's the reverse DDT from forward to Chris, and then Chris does the Big Bang Theory finisher to Penelope to pick up the win. On AEW Dynamite, Shawn Spears now has his own 100% for it. I thoroughly believe in 100% for it, and I am Sean Spears very well. Sean Spears, even though I want him to be more serious and I want him to be more entertainer, the spotlight and he showed championships and being recognized that he's not some very well. Because even though I want him to be more serious and I want him to be more into, I see the potential in getting championships and being recognized that he's not some slouch. Because not everyone likes Sean Spears, but I see the Sean Spears is no slouch. He knows what he's doing with his character. And despite this little filler of a match, he decided to entertain us all. On AEW Dynamite, he says that he doesn't even have a match at Double or Nothing, and I would have loved for him to be the 9th entrant in the Casino ladder match. However, he decides to make a match on his own by facing Dustin Rhodes because he says that Dustin has retired, even though no one ever heard Dustin say he retired. And the reason why Sean came to this conclusion is because Dustin hasn't been on AEW programming or even in the back at all. Thinks that he will not show up Dustin at Double or Nothing. So he will gain an easy victory. This is far from the truth. So he will gain an easy victory. This is far from the truth. Attacking Spears from behind. Starts attacking Spears from behind. Attacking Spears from behind. They fight more than having a wrestling match. There is one embarrassing moment where, for some reason, Dustin is ripping off Sean Spears' clothes and just happened to take off his pants, and Sean Spears is in his underwear, and I really, really thought that Sean Spears' dick was out. I was going to be like, wow, that's okay, cool. And it's the face of Tully Blanchard, and it was really well placed. I would have been a happy person. Thought that his dick was out, and I would have been a happy person. Who wouldn't want to see a sexy man's dick like that? But Dustin had picked up the win. I forgot how he won. I think he hit his finisher. Now we get to the second women's match. This is for the AEW Women's Championship match. I have written my pick will be Shida just because I just wanted Shida just to get the title. I really enjoyed kind of this come match up with and as a no DQ match, and I really enjoyed this match, and it was really good back and forth. No DQ match chemistry there. I understand that most was used Japanese and it was really good back and forth. There was really good chemistry there. That happens. I really enjoyed this match as a no DQ match, and the running knee. The running knee is so repetitive that I'm like, oh my God, I'm losing my mind. Anyway, my notes. Let's give it up for Shida to cosplay as Tifa as she came out during her entrance. Already in the beginning of the match, it was let's give it up for Shida to cosplay as Tifa as she came out during her entrance. Already in the beginning of the match, it was the use of the kendo stick. Nyla threw Shida into the poker table. Shida with a crossbody off the steps, running knee to Nyla. First running knee. This has Nyla kicking out, third one, with the kendo stick. However, Shida is quick with another knee strike as a follow-up. And then another one, which is fifth. Shida then decides to do a big kendo shot to Nyla, sixth running knee. Now, I'm not counting out the running knees to make repertoire and the way that she has her matches to discredit her. Don't ever think like that. That's all I have in my notes. I need some more versatile moves from Shida. Shida has the full package. Shida is very entertaining. She's very creative. She loves to cosplay. She could play piano. She could be an amazing wrestler in the ring. She has everything down. Switch it up, because the moment that you get someone that likes to study their opponent 24/7 and they know that you use the running knee over and over and over and over and over again, and when they work on your knee, move will you be able to pull out when your knee is in constant agony because they keep working on it. Let's go back to the MJF and Jungle Boy match. The reason why Jungle Boy couldn't hold his grip is because MJF decided to target the right arm of Jungle Boy. So if another female competitor is facing Shida and they focus on her knee, so that's just something for her to think about, for other wrestlers out there to think about, and for fans out there to think about. The running knee will not save you long term, than it will short term. But to constantly do the running knee, eventually it's going to bite her in the ass for it. Couldn't think of anything else. Bite her in the ass for it. Couldn't think of anything else. Jon Moxley versus Brody Lee was going to be Jon Moxley. I don't see Brody Lee picking up the victory so soon, but imagine if Brody Lee did win the AEW World Heavyweight Championship title, what that would mean for the Dark Order, what that would mean for them being the Lions of AEW and the strength in numbers. It would be very phenomenal. They'll be able to take over a lot of things, and the creative genius of the Dark Order with Brody Lee there with the skits, it would just feel right, and it would be watchable. Like, you'll be very interested to see what happens next if Brody Lee became AEW World Heavyweight Championship. This is more of a fight and less wrestling. On the guardrail, matching power and moves. There was a Gotch-style power driver, back body, matching power and moves. There was a Gotch-style power driver, back body drop from Moxley. Lee hits the table and the barricade. Side suplex into the cards. It was really cool that they had Moxley join, and it was really cool that they had Moxley drawn on that set piece. Mox with the paradigm shift to Lee on the ramp. Lee got busted open, and there was a series of shots of elbows, forearms, kicks, biting. There was a huge paradigm shift, but Lee kicks out at 1, if I remember correctly. I wrote my review for this match. Notes is the same way that I wrote it, and it just needed a lot of changes that I didn't agree with, and I thought it would have been a nice, light, fun, happy, and it just needed a lot of changes that I didn't agree with into that review of that's not the main highlights that I wrote down. For the first time ever, you guys are going to hear my reaction. And for the first time ever, you guys are going to hear how enjoyable this match was between the Elite and the Inner Circle. Had their own screen time. And it made me think of potential storylines that can happen between these guys in the future. Sammy Guevara and Hangman Adam Page are superstars in their own right. Sammy is a walking meme. He's also Krillin. He dies a lot on AEW programming, but somehow comes back to life and still does the same thing over and over again. But he's enjoyable, he's growing, and he has the whole world ahead of him. He's doing really, really great. Hangman. Now, ever since the lockdown procedures got put in place due to our current situation, he has not been forgotten. He has not missed a step. Being the Elite episodes, he has not been forgotten. He has not missed a step. Diminished in his character at all. Because he's on the Being the Elite episodes, he is still true to his character. And because he's on the Being the Elite episodes, he has not diminished in his character at all. He is Hangman Page. He is a cowboy that does cowboy shit, and he drinks whiskey. Coming out in this match on that wonderful, majestic horse is great. I was not expecting him to come out on his horse. I was not expecting him to try to run down Sammy and try to find Sammy first, and Sammy just ran right into the stadium and was like, no, I'm not going to get run over by a horse. That's when Hangman gets off the horse and goes into the pub, and we're going to visit Hangman a little bit later. We go back to the field, and we have Nick Jackson versus Chris Jericho. If the Young Bucks ever decided to ever have a singles run, which they should at least just try once in AEW, I would love to see Nick versus Jericho a lot more. Jericho has proved, him being 49 years young, that he could still hang with the young guys no matter what. Matt Jackson comes in. Kenny comes in next and does 2 Snapdragon suplexes to Ortiz and Santana, and then everyone else comes in and hits their finisher. Bam, chaos erupts. We get Matt and Nick teaming up, and they're fighting, and they're battling their way to the goalpost. Nick brings out a ladder. Matt climbs it. Matt decides to do a beautiful moonsault off of the goalpost onto Jericho and Sammy Guevara. And that was an amazing sight to witness. Then the camera goes to Santana and Ortiz, who are battling broken Matt Hardy and Kenny Omega. Santana and Ortiz set up the barricade between two tables and bring Kenny Omega and powerbomb him down. My favorite part during this match, and I don't understand why people you feel that I don't understand why people Matt Hardy's gimmick I don't understand why people feel that Matt Hardy's gimmick is played out and it's stupid. This is what I mean by it. It's the most true. This is what I mean by it. You'll ever watch. Matt Hardy reinvented himself. It's the most truth you'll ever watch. And this is what I mean by it. Because wrestling is when it comes to the broken Matt Hardy gimmick, I appreciate that he doesn't his old characters 10 years ago, 20 years ago, and you don't want to talk about it. Matt Hardy openly lets you go through time. He creates a creative time traveling that lets you explore the different sides of Matt Hardy. So we have the version 1, we have the 1999 Hardy, we got the broken Hardy. You know, this scene of him versus Santana and Ortiz in the pool in the lake of reincarnation to further his character is brilliant. I enjoy Matt Hardy's work. His body of work is amazing. And to downplay it and to discredit it and to call yourself a fan, it's like, because movies do the same thing. There's a lot of movies on time traveling. There's a lot of movies in the fantasy realm. And for you to think that those might be cheesy and not give it a chance, then what's the point of critiquing Matt Hardy when you don't get the brilliance that he puts out on TV day in and day out? It's not easy for Matt Hardy to do this. He does it well. And, you know, he doesn't have a moment of, what do I do now? What do I do now? So I appreciate broken Matt Hardy in AEW. It's an inspiration to creatives like me and creatives like yourselves who want to learn more about the business. You be like Matt Hardy, but you don't copy Matt Hardy. You just take inspirations from Matt Hardy to make your character work and understand how to get over a character. Yes, Matt Hardy's been doing this for 300 years, and he has only gained new fans, new followers, and a rejuvenated state because only we love through and talk about, and we would be lost. We love through without professional wrestling. And Matt Hardy changed through time and brought back his gimmicks. And I would never want to be told the magic behind it. I want to still be here like a fan, even though I'm breaking down these matches. Now, we're going to go visit Hangman Page. Hangman Adam Page is at the bar drinking his whiskey. In comes Jake Hager. Now, Jake Hager is what I would like to call the enforcer of the Inner Circle, and Hangman Page is the tag team feud potential type of thing. Nothing too heavy, but those two guys really need to have their own story. This just felt like a straight up Western John Wayne movie. Hager comes in, Hangman pours himself a drink, pours Hager a drink, and the intensity is super, super high. This just felt like a straight up Western John Wayne movie. Hager comes in, Hangman pours himself a drink, pours Hager a drink, and the intensity is super, super high. That either one of them give each other can start off this battle. After they drink the whiskey, both of them start the battle. They both attack each other. Kenny Omega comes in to help save Hangman Adam Page and just to help him out. Pulls him across the bar front, just like how you see in those action movies. Kenny helps out Hangman with an assisted buckshot lariat. Hangman has one of the best buckshot lariats in the business. No doubt about that. Hangman pours Kenny a glass of milk, Kenny Omega have Hangman pours himself a whiskey. You know, together, cowboy shit. Hangman pours Kenny a glass of milk while we are Hangman back on the field. And after that, we are back on the field, and never ceases to surprise me. He decided to do a 100-yard to Sammy Guevara. Constantly, no stop, Sammy Guevara for all of his hard work, whether it's for his vlogs, for his YouTube channel, or the fact that he gets killed every Wednesday night and almost every Tuesday night and even in pay-per-views, but it's still the hottest thing going. He's going to be big. I honestly want Sammy to be an entrant into the TNT Championship tournament that will crown the number one contender to face Cody. I really want him in there. He needs a belt. He's on this momentum. This momentum shouldn't die. If he ends up getting a championship title, just imagine all the stuff he could do. It will be endless. The sky's the limit with Sammy Guevara. Matt Jackson to continue to do the Northern Lights suplex till we get to the 100 dash. After Matt Jackson gets to his goal, that's when Matt Jackson decides to super kick Rick Knox. Very nice, very good, just all around straight up smiles. After that, we go to Jericho versus Nick Jackson again. They're battling all over the little mini area. At one point, him and Ref Aubrey get into it, and they go look at the replay because Jericho doesn't believe that he got a 2 count when it should have been a 3, and the referee doesn't know how to count. I love it when the wrestlers interact with the referees. Out Chris Jericho when Jericho is placed on the table. Referee. Nick she's my number 2 all the way up the referees, all the way down the stairs. First one is to get momentum. My buddy goes across body, and he's an awesome guy. That little segment. Back to this. Now, I did love the interaction between Chris Jericho and Ref confused, and he thinks that he has won the match between Chris Jericho and Ref Aubrey. Nick then takes out Chris Jericho when Jericho is placed on the table. Nick runs all the way up the stairs, all the way down the stairs to get momentum, does a crossbody, and that's it for that little segment. Sammy is dazed and confused, and he thinks that he has won the match. And he's getting wet by the sprinklers because the sprinklers come on, driven by Matt Hardy and Kenny Omega, the 2 madmen of AEW. Sammy Guevara sees this. He says, not again. Sammy Guevara sees this. There's a platform where the seats are at. He runs up. He's trying to kick Kenny Omega, but where Kenny the seats are at, nah, get out of here. He's trying to kick Kenny Omega, but fight a little bit Kenny for a while. Nah, Kenny sets out of here. Sammy Guevara for Kenny the one-winged angel. They fight a little bit for a while until Kenny sets up Sammy Guevara for the one-winged angel. Comes in, has beaten the Inner Circle, and that whole entire stadium stampede is a 10 out of 10. I do not care what other people say. That was a very awesome, campy style match that put a smile on my face, got me hyped. I couldn't go to sleep right away. It was a very great moment to share with the AEW crew that worked so hard to put a pay-per-view together in the time constraints and the lockdown requirements that they're dealing with. Even though they're deemed an essential business, not everybody can go to work and wrestle and it'll be like normal. So hats off to AEW for doing this tremendous pay-per-view from start to finish that I thoroughly enjoyed. And that is my review of AEW Double or Nothing.